Hello? Yes, this is the Falcon speaking. Oh, Myrna. I'm glad you called. You'll have to count me out tonight, Angel. I've got a date with the magician. Mm-hmm. This boy's going to show me how to make $4 million in gold out of 30 cents worth of lead.
This is Ed Hurley, friends, inviting you on behalf of the Kraft Foods Company to listen to The Adventures of the Falcon, starring Les Damon. You met the Falcon first in his best-selling novels. Then you saw him in his thrilling motion picture series. Now join him on the air when the Falcon solves the case of the Witty Widow. Before we join the Falcon in his latest adventure, I'd like to tell you folks about Kraft's Golden Velveeta. Velveeta is such good eating. Just taste that grand, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And Velveeta is so good for you. It's rich in important food values from milk, and it's digestible. Velveeta is as digestible as milk itself. For swell-tasting snacks, for good, hearty sandwiches, for thrifty, easy hot dishes, it's smart to keep stocked with Velveeta. Get it tomorrow in the handy half-pound package or in the economical 2-pound loaf. The pasteurized processed cheese food of top quality, Velveeta is made only by Kraft. Now, the case of the Witty Widow. It's early afternoon in New York, and in room 619 of the Remsen building, a pudgy little man named Edward Paris washes his hands for the 10th time in as many minutes, which may go to show that Mr. Paris doesn't approve of the type of people he deals with. If you watch, you may see why.
Who is it?
Me, Mr. Paris.
Oh, just a second, Mickey. Come in.
Thanks. What you locking it for?
My doctor warned me to stay out of drafts.
Oh, what good is locking?
It's a new school of thought. Sit down. Mickey, have you been behaving yourself?
You know me.
Yes, that's why I asked.
I haven't touched a drop in months. You know what I mean?
Stick out your hands.
See? Steady as a rock.
When was the last time they ran you in?
In November. That's when I took the cure. You don't have to worry, Mr. Paris. I realize I can't handle this stuff, so I just don't take that first drink. You know what I mean?
I hope so, Mickey. How would you like to make yourself $500?
Would I?
Take a look at this picture. Well, I'm glad to see you're a lover of beauty. You recognize her?
Well, her face is kind of familiar.
That's Mrs. Laura Davis.
Laura Davis.
Her first husband was John Nichols.
Oh, sure. He owned half the real estate in New York, and then when he croaked, he left her a bundle.
That's right. Now, she's married now to a man named Austin Davis. They live at the Marlboro. Have you got that?
I got it.
You're to go up and see her tonight and give her this envelope.
What's in there?
Well, that's none of your business. Just see that Mrs. Davis gets it and nobody else. She'd give you $25,000.
What?
Don't get any ideas, Mickey. Just bring the money here.
Yes?
Hello, Mrs. Davis.
Who are you?
Mickey Slater.
I don't think I know anyone by that name.
Think what you've been missing. I got something for you. Know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Come in.
Thanks. Hey, this is quite a layout.
I'd ask you to sit down, but I don't think you'll be staying long.
Oh, I'm in no hurry, Mrs. Davis.
Unfortunately, I am. May I have the envelope?
Sure.
Well,
Ain't you forgetting something?
what do you mean?
I was supposed to pick up something from you, sort of tit for tat, you know what I mean? Get away from that desk.
I just wanted to get the briefcase.
The money in there?
Would you like to count it?
No, I'll take your word for it. Laura?
The name is Mrs. Davis.
I'm a pretty familiar type guy, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't advise you to get too familiar. May I have your envelope now?
You bet your life. Fair exchange is no robbery, I always say.
Well, as long as you've got it set, I don't see any reason to detain you.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Laura.
And we can't help the way we feel, can we?
Guess not.
It's been delightful talking to you, Mickey, but I wouldn't care to play the scene over again. Next time, someone might blow up in their lines. You know what I mean?
Hello, Mickey.
Well, if it ain't Mr. Parrott.
Yes, it is.
Clever job, pal.
Oh, thank you. You know, Mickey, I'm very disappointed in you. That cure apparently wasn't as permanent as you thought.
You won't believe it, Mr. Parrott. I was on my way to your office.
You had it right the first time.
Huh?
I won't believe it. Where's the money?
Money? Oh, yeah, I got it right here in the briefcase.
Excuse me.
Not at all. You didn't think I'd let you down.
Oh, I didn't know what to think.
Sirree, Mickey Slater don't ever let a pal down.
Oh, thank you, Mickey.
Sure. How about old Snort?
No thanks.
I guess I gotta drink alone. Very dangerous habit you get into, Mr. Parrott. I mean,
Imagine you were surprised when you opened that envelope.
certainly was. Who'd have thought?
Go on, Mickey. What were you going to say?
I opened what envelope?
The one I gave you for Laura Davis?
You got rocks in your head.
That's the liquor talking.
Look, I said I didn't open no envelope. You don't believe me, you know what you can do.
No, I don't, Mickey, but I'll give it some thought. I'm sure you'll excuse me if I go home now and meditate.
Will you get that, Austin?
Of course, dear. Hello?
Let me talk to Laura Davis.
She's busy at the moment.
Well, she can't be that busy. Tell her that it's Mickey Slater.
Just a moment. It's for you, Laura. A Mickey Slater.
Slater? Oh, yes, that's the new tailor I was telling you about.
Sounds drunk.
Well, it doesn't seem to affect his work. I'll talk to him. Hello?
Hiya, Mrs. Davis. But you kind of surprised to hear from me so soon.
I can't honestly say I am.
Well, I hate to put the bite on you, sweetie, but you see, I picked up that briefcase for somebody else. All I got was 5 bills for my end.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, I knew you'd feel that way. And since tomorrow's my birthday, I was wondering whether you'd like to make me a little present.
What did you have in mind?
A briefcase. Just like the one I got from you tonight. I say just like the one. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but I wouldn't count on it.
You wouldn't disappoint me on my birthday, would you? I got a room at the Pembroke, and I'll be receiving all day tomorrow.
If that's all you've got to say,
That's
Slater...
all I gotta say. Be seeing you, honey.
What's the trouble, darling?
What?
Something bothering you?
Nothing I can't handle, Austin. Would you get my coat, darling? I have to run out for a little while.
Me for you, and you for me, too. Who's that? I said, who's there? I think you're smart, huh? Sure, you. I get up pretty early in the morning to put one over on Mickey Slater. All right, what did you... Yeah, I did.
Taxi! Taxi!
You having trouble, lady?
Taxi!
Maybe I can give you a lift. My car's right here.
Look, if you don't get out of here...
You call the cops.
Yes.
Well, just goes to prove what a small world this is.
What are you talking about?
I'm Sergeant Corbett, New York Homicide.
So?
So I wonder if I could impose upon you to take a little ride with me down to headquarters. Start her up, Kelly.
Are you mad?
Ever hear of a man named Mickey Slater?
No.
Well, he was foully done in some 3 hours and 4 bullets ago.
No.
Yes.
Listen, Sergeant.
I'd love to, but I hate loitering on street corners. Let's wait till we get downtown, huh? Home, James.
Hello.
Is your radio on, sir?
What?
What program are you listening to?
Who is this?
You know, Mike. You're just trying to pad your part.
Oh, listen, Sergeant. Do you realize it's 4 o'clock in the morning?
You're slow. It's 5 after.
What do you want?
Me? Not a thing, but we're holding a little lady who's in dire need of your services. Her name is Laura Davis.
Never heard of her.
She's John Nichols' widow.
The real estate king?
Yeah, she'll pay plenty.
What's she alleged to have done?
That's what I love about you, Mike. You're so proper. What she alleged to have done, there's nothing alleged about it. She killed a boy named Mickey Slater.
I don't believe it.
You don't know the woman, you don't know the victim, but you don't believe it. What does it take to convince you, anyhow?
A lot more than you can offer, Sergeant. Tell Mrs. Davis I'm on my way.
This is Ed Hurley again, friends. Well, it looks like Mike won't be convinced by Sergeant Corbett. No, he wants to find out for himself. And that's a good idea. For example, if you'd like to find out for yourself how delicious and wonderfully helpful a good cheese sauce can be, you just try this. Melt Velveeta, Kraft's famous pasteurized processed cheese food, for the smoothest golden sauce you ever saw. One that's perfect over vegetables or to combine with leftovers for a hearty main dish. It's a wonderfully easy sauce to make. You just melt a half pound of Velveeta in the top of your double boiler. You don't have to cut it into little pieces because Velveeta melts so easily, so smoothly. Then stir in a quarter cup of milk. Season to suit your taste, and you'll have the best tasting cheese sauce you ever put a fork into. Velveeta has such a fine, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And it's mighty nourishing, too, because Velveeta is rich in important food values from milk. So even the smallest youngsters can enjoy it often. Find out for yourself what a wonderfully handy helper Velveeta can be, whether you melt it for this grand cheese sauce or slice it thick for hearty sandwiches. Get a 2-pound loaf of Velveeta tomorrow. It's America's favorite pasteurized processed cheese food, the one and only Velveeta. Now, back to the adventures of the Falcon. 20 minutes have passed since Sergeant Corbett phoned Mike to give him the business. And now, down at police headquarters, we find Sergeant Corbett making like Emily Post.
Mrs. Davis, may I present Mike Waring, otherwise known as the Falcon, the nemesis of the underworld.
You mean that he...
Ain't it disgusting?
Just ignore him, Mrs. Davis. His mother was frightened by Joe Miller.
Yes, I can believe it. How soon can you get me out of here?
Well, there are certain minor technicalities we have to observe. You see, the police believe you killed Mickey Slater.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, well, we both know that, but go fight City Hall. How well did you know him, anyway?
I didn't know him at all.
Then what were you doing at his hotel?
He said I was there.
The desk clerk, for one.
All right, I lied.
Nice of you to admit it.
I can hardly do anything else, Sergeant. I was at the Pembroke.
But?
When I got there, Mickey was dead.
What did you want with him, anyway?
I'd rather not go into that.
Well, you don't have any choice, Laura.
Well, couldn't we...
Oh, yes, we certainly could. Sergeant, do you think you could arrange for us to have a little privacy?
How little?
Oh, will you stop being such a character?
Okay, you don't have to push. If you want anything, folks, just ring. We pride ourselves on our service.
All right, Mrs. Davis, now let's have it.
Where do you want me to start?
Right from the top of the page.